Stop it. Hi, guys. Don't stop it. I'm still yelling at those wee kittens that board with me while their mother is getting a new apartment and stuff. And they don't know the rules. And apparently, my cats have decided to teach them the Kitty 500 with a few twists of gymnastic abilities therein. We are, of course, an entertainment channel only. There's no room for anybody else. I'm funny as hell. I'm gonna be here all week, just so you know. Been warned. I've got a Q&A up here. I've got Social Woodstock up on live chat. So anybody that wants to get in on that particular subject, let me know. I've got it set so I can answer you live, which is not a step I found before. So you may have been missed. Again, it's just me out here. And if I had any more hats to wear, you wouldn't be able to see me. So I think many people thought I would not do this. And it's a real hoot. It really is. I love it. And I love the people. The channel's nothing without you guys. Please like, share, tickle the bell. It's a subscription. It's free. YouTube is free as long as you don't get premium. So if you see me, sometimes I try to put them on Facebook, but they don't seem to go over as well on there either. You got a live feed as well, so it's buried after like 5 minutes. Looks like it came in last month. So I apologize for my wardrobe very quickly. In some ways, I apologize. This is not my normal attire, but I have an entire house to get cleaned because the hubby's not here, which means sweeping, mopping, vacuuming. Yeah, I did most of that in the tiled areas last night. I didn't finish till almost 11. So, of course, it's been an early morning. The guys get me usually at 6. Our Pixie has learned to do the scratch your nails on chalkboard thing. She's not actually scratching it, but she's got enough of her nails out to do this at your door because I throw them out at night, especially since the kitten got here, which I did, by the way, name Fearless. I'll try to get some photos uploaded at least to Facebook and maybe hold her up here again. She's sleeping, so another reason I decided to jump up in here. Watched a little bit of current events. You just can't make this stuff up. It's crazy. They're still busy trying to put a former president in jail. Grabbed Stormy Daniels, from what I understand. I believe she was way back 20 years or more ago. But what can I say? She released a book, apparently. Made her famous again. I'm not impressed. mm. And I heard that the IDF was considering a Hamas ceasefire. I haven't checked yet to see what damage was done in Rafah. I know they moved in there last night just after, or maybe just before. I can't deal with the time change yet, right? And so we're not sure. We're standing on maybe those people didn't die for nothing. I kind of agreed with them. Actually, I agreed with them that you can't leave 5 battalions on your ass. You got 5 battalions on your 6, you're dead. Me walking. We got a game here in America called Risk. It's a war game. Little pieces. Play it sometime. I bet you wipe out whole countries and give it you want. Uh-huh. That little strip they got there between the river and the sea. Between the river and the sea. Uh-huh. So now it's not just Americans who think that entire area needs to be swept cleared by genocide. It's the Australians as well. I've seen some cleanup on some of the college and university campuses here in the U.S. I don't talk that often. We're starting to get cleaned up. We've still lost several cities, and those still haven't recovered. Seattle, San Francisco, just to name a few. We don't want to say what's going on in Texas. That breaks my heart. I love Texas. Yeah, it's a big country, basically. I mean, it's a big state and could be its own country, I believe. As Aaron Burr wanted it to be a stop off to Mexico where he would be president. That was before he shot and killed Andrew Jackson. They were both elected vice president. It was a tie off. So he challenged him to a duel to satisfy his ire. And Andrew lost, and Aaron won. So off to France he went because it turns out nobody wanted a president of say, American heritage to rural Mexico or Texas, who at that time, again, was still independent. They had not yet had the war. The Cry of the Alamo, none of that had come about yet. It was technically still an offshoot of Spain, if I remember right at that time. This is back, way back, if anybody learned their history back in the 1700s. Um, Mind you, Aaron Burr and Jackson should be a main clue. This was a bit of go, a long time ago. But it's interesting how it kind of worked out. I haven't seen what's going on with the Canadians much. I'm seeing some hatred forming there too. And there's nothing else you can call it. It's evil, it's hatred, it's hate speech, it's praying for another literal country to die. And it's telling this country you can't defend yourself. Oh, so they killed a few people. You're good. You messed up the city. You're good. And if that happened here, at my age, which would be nearly 65, shut up, don't say it. I know you guessed. But I'd still pick up my weapons and go to defend Texas. You bet your ass I would. I was so grateful to finally see somebody defending the border. I thought, well, the other thing I wondered about is when Americans are going to go back to forming their own militias. I've seen what's going on with the militarized police. It's criminal. It's absolutely criminal. I watched them kill 3 people on some videos. I spoke about that yesterday. I can't again remember what it's called. It might be police acting dirty. I don't know, but go in there if you get a chance, and look at it and see how much danger we're in as a private citizen of the United States just at a traffic stop, and what they will go to extremes if you piss one of them off. If you don't move out of that car quick enough, if you don't kiss their hiney quick enough, if period, if they just don't like you quick enough, you're going to get drug out, slammed into the concrete. You're going to get all kind of massive hurt there. And then they're going to ask their other fellow officers, who they called 15 of them while they were doing that before they got to your car. So you got 15 cops standing around going, huh? But those same 15 cops don't go, dude, you're violating his rights, like the First, Second, Third, Fourth, Fifth Amendments. Anybody know those? Just show hands real quick. Yeah, I thought so. And look them up. Yeah, makes you tired. I see my mic might be a little too loud today. I'm wearing this T-shirt because again I have a lot to do, and so and the earrings my husband just bought me. If you can see them, aren't they cute along with my fat neck? So, so that's something you could do when you're 65. You get up, you shower, and still you're 65. I mean, if I had $2-3 million in my pocket, I still would have been plastic surgery. I don't believe in it. I earned this. I've chunked up a little. I'm kind of liking it. I was 100 pounds soaking wet my entire life. In my 50s, I went to 120. After that, we quit counting. I got Mother's Day coming up, of course. I have a son. Couldn't have more children. And thank you again, Lord. Didn't want more children. No offense to children, okay? No hate mail. So I wanted this again to be a social Woodstock channel. I've been saying this all along, but I don't think I've been getting it out there, and I hadn't practiced a lot except for just to throw it up. So I think I'm missing some things that are going on. Right now, the Q&A is social Woodstock, and what y'all think about it, it is live. And again, if you don't see me until after work, or if you have an hour, God knows most of us don't, you can hit the comments. I'll try to answer anyone. Again, I try to throw it on Facebook, but it doesn't seem to be seen there either. You wouldn't think that a retiree would have nothing else better to do. It turns out today's world anyway. I wonder how the hell did I keep up with this with a job in college and 2 jobs in college, not to mention a single parent for 9 years. Um, Basically, a single parent to his teenage years. And by then, he went to my husband for everything because by then, it's a man to man macho thing. I love him to death. We decided not to go out on Mother's Day. It is a nightmare in this city on Mother's Day. And I think I would be more comfortable at my son's, and he's going to be cooking. I know not what, but he's a very good chef. So I'm looking forward to going there and seeing my granddaughter. Hey, shout out to Miss Zoe. Shout out to my daughter-in-law. Hey, Brendy. Gotcha. These guys hold her really long hour jobs, I should say. They both work their butts off. Not that their parents didn't, they did too. We were hoping our kids wouldn't have to do that. Turns out we were wrong. You gotta own some of it. So they're still, of course, like I said, trying to throw Donald Trump in. I'm sorry, he has earned the title, former President Donald Trump. Great businessman. When he was running against Hillary and everything, I just quit. I just kind of shut down. I was like, it was no point in anyone voting anyway because it's the electoral college who votes the president. But when it was a question between those two only, it was like I couldn't even watch because I didn't think either would be suited, especially Hillary. Yes, I said Hillary. Check her background. Check out how many people have died that have been in their service, hers in particular. Yeah, and look how far back Rodham goes. Why do you think her name is Hillary Rodham Clinton? Look up Rodham. Clinton's nobody. Look up Rodham. Yeah, those people have some history. Yeah, long way back. Long way back. So I don't know who's doing the puppet thing on the sleepy guy can't find the bathroom at the White House, but I sure wish they'd stop because it's a mess already. We are a laughing stock around the world. I did, like I said, manage to guess up. I would take a break yesterday in between what I was doing on the tile floors and so forth, moving things, cleaning things, run in and take a 10-minute break sitting down. Just because I am not that well off. As a matter of fact, my back is a mess and has some problems. And my sciatica nerves are just shredded. So, and the sciatica nerve is a nerve that runs down your back and down your butt, kind of like that, almost like a girl, but you know. So when you feel pain like that, and you will, you will. There's not a lot you can do. I take turmeric and chamomile, calm my butt down because of my BP, and the turmeric is a great thing for aging joints and stuff like that, and pain blockage. And so I recommend that to everybody. There's very few people, but there's quite a few that I've been taught by here on YouTube. Shout out to all you guys, you know who you are. I would shout out to a few others, but then I see I've already catching some time here. So I wonder myself, how do you get up there and do that? And I look forward to it. I look forward to seeing everybody. And it's just not a channel without you guys. So and hit the like. I know watching other videos that I've been so engrossed in the video that I barely had time to throw a like up and it was gone. And I couldn't find it again. Because, again, like I say, I've been on this as a manual typewriter, but they hid some stuff in here. Nobody told me about. These are new. I wasn't working when these Chromebooks came out. And when my laptop tanked, my husband bought me a new Chromebooks. I have two. I have a touch screen on my smaller one, and I really like that, you know. So social Woodstock, we're slowly but surely we're taking off. We get to 1,000 people, folks, if we can get that many. And it's climbing, let's just do it slowly. So I really, I'm not in a rush either. But I do want to believe that I'm doing something that helps all of us. The last time I saw the American people gather peacefully, at least as far as news wise that I've been able to ascertain, was Woodstock. And you can see a pile behind me, by the way, guys. I just took them out of the dryer. Those are my cleaning cloths. So there's like 500 in the chair behind me. I'm sorry. I just saw that. Yeah, I do actually clean the house just prior to Mother's Day every year. So I cheated a little bit starting early yesterday. So I take a nap at 3 or 4 a day. I can't remember the last time I got a nap. I think it was when I had my car accident. So, like 35 years ago. So, let's see. I think we can again make a difference. Stand up here in social Woodstock. I ain't afraid. I'm an Army veteran. I think to repeat this a lot. I was in the first company that was not trained as a WAC Corps, was trained with the regular Army. No, they did not tell us that. When we got there, we found out that we weren't going to Fort McClellan, Alabama, to be away. We had now been assigned to Fort Jackson, South Carolina, for boot camp, regular Army. I'm 5'2". I think I weighed 86 pounds or 88 pounds because I had to have a waiver. You had to weigh like 98 pounds or something. So they gave me a 10-pound waiver. So I had to be right out of the mud. My recruiter fed me bananas all the way from Southern Illinois over into St. Louis. It's like a 6-hour drive. He's got me constantly eating bananas. I made it. Then they stuck us in a hotel for like 6 weeks so they could transfer everything and make ready for the women. There was only one company. We were Charlie. We were Bravo, 3rd Battalion. And the rest of them, Charlie included, Delta, so forth, to make up the battalion is 5 companies. So the rest were all men. A little unfair, but kicked their ass anyway. So that's why I love seeing a fighter pilot take off and it's a female. And I trust me, honey, when I was in, it's like Private Benjamin. To check that movie out if you don't know, Goldie Hawn was in it, played Private Benjamin. They were following me around with the camera, never paid my ass. So it's humorous because people don't seem to realize how much things have changed in 50 years. Or even, I take it back because I'm not that old. I wouldn't have been active duty. So we'll say 40 years. That we went from women could be secretaries and nurses and be in one of the women corps. They were not trained as the men at all, but to being regular Army, not as male or female or transgender, whatever the hell they're talking about nowadays. I don't get it. It's free to practice whatever you want to practice, as long as you don't push on somebody else. Unfortunately, this trans GBLN or whatever, I have no idea. Don't care. It's none of my business. That stuff is between you and your God. Don't care what God it is. Don't bother with any hate mail. Don't bother to get on my Q&A and give me some crap about it. I've got every right to go, I'm not in your face telling you what I'm doing. Huh? No, I'm not. So don't get there and get in my face and tell me I'm a racist or I have to believe in this or that, or because I called you sir and you define as a female. Well, you're a dude. You can put lipstick on a pig all blooming day if you want. It's still a damn pig. So you spin that lipstick on and you grow your hair long, put the little earrings in. You think that's going to make me call you a woman? Oh, hell no. Get a grip. Go out there and buy some tits. The world is screwed up, people. But no wonder. I'm surprised. When I saw the flooding in Dubai, I said, yep, God's sending another flood. Then I saw a thing last night. Well, besides the locust and all that hit Dubai, we'll go back if you need to. It's like, so I actually listened to, because I was busy, so I listened to a man, well, it was a male reader, telling us what was to be expected and the seals to be, well, I know all that. And finally, I listened about 4 minutes, and I had gone to that because the Euphrates River is drying up. That, everybody has a dam on the damn thing, so it's really drying up. And there were certain sounds coming out that sounded like men screaming. Now, in the Bible, it says there are, in Revelation, it says there are 4 angels that are to hold back the Euphrates at the time of the new arrival of the 1,000-year peace thing, and to loosen those 4 angels to kill 1/3 of mankind. And that this was to open the way from the east to the west so that the 200 million person army could then cross. So I pulled up Euphrates. I was like, shit. I cracked myself up. I'm like, oh my God, really? Yes. When I saw camels floating by and locusts hitting Dubai, and I said, no, it's just ticking boxes faster than I can tick them. And I'm not one of I don't consider myself a biblical scholar or a religious scholar, but I'm not a mindless robot either. I was raised kind of Catholic with what little bit of time I had a family, which was like 8 years. So, yeah, I could do the rosary and, I know all that. But I crossed the line going, I got to kiss his ring? Really? He makes you kiss the ring? You kiss the ring? It's just sign. Don't give me the sign back. Yeah, you don't need that. You put your forehead on the ground how many times a day? Not busy, are you? These were organized religions crack me up. No, I do believe in the spring being. I have seen Jesus, Jesus. The young girl painted him. He could walk right off that painting. Gorgeous man, loved it. I mean, I can still see him in front of my eyes now, and it's been years since I saw that portrait that this child made of him, which was her first painting after she had died and then been brought back to life. She drew Jesus. Holy Hannah, did she drew? I mean, she painted Jesus. He's right there. If you want to know what he looks like, look up that little girl who paints Jesus after a near death experience. So to me, there's never been really actually and ever in my mind that Jesus was not only real, he was a teacher, he was a master. That didn't mean he has superpowers, which is accredited to him. I mean, come on. The church had standing armies that would go out and help this Italian city or that Italian city or France or whoever until Mussolini. So it hasn't even been 100 years that they weren't doing that. They were having children. They were messing with the nuns. It was what? We didn't know that either. Somehow, at the end of the 20th century, beginning of the 21st, we're starting to hear this. They're not burning people at the stake for saying, well, whatever they want to pin on them, because if there is life besides the earth, they have a God too. They have the same God. Don't you know those looking around up there that got burnt at the stake and hung and so forth? They're going, huh? But what? But you killed me for inventing glasses. I mean, it's like Hillary's face. I'd have paid to see her face when she found out that the giggle girl won vice president and she lost to Trump. I really would pay good money to see that. Yes, I would have. That she got trounced in it made me respect that man even more. Like I said, I didn't really believe in him either. And then what he did for the country during a pandemic. This guy had one thing after another thrown in. He handled it all brilliantly. Brilliantly. Now, the Cuomo's, they kept sending people off back to the nursing home so they could kill everybody up in there because they knew they were COVID positive. And they had already told everybody that the very young and the very old were susceptible. So what do you do when you identify one? Send him back. I don't see him in jail. He committed mass murder. Cuomo did. Mm-hmm. When the kids graduate because of COVID, but you could protest with 50,000 people about Black Lives Matter. But that kid could not graduate with her class of 130. Well, many of the diploma. It's a pandemic. You could go to freaking Walmart all night, all day long. Yeah. You couldn't step foot in an HEB or down here in Piggly Wiggly. No, 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 no. Although they did manage to hang on, bless them, a few of the stores did. But Kroger and Walmart won the, safe to go there. Fauci is also responsible for, I believe, anyway, hundreds of thousands of deaths. Wear a mask, it'll work. Don't wear a mask, it won't work. Wear two masks, it might work. Don't wear a mask, wear a mask. We all still have masks in our cars and homes because we don't know when they're going to do that again. Because we figured they're going to do that again. They killed a lot of people. We paid them to do it. Fauci was the head of World Health Organization. He shoveled those funds right on over there to get that Chinese virus going. I agree with Trump. It's the Chinese virus. If you can call it Spanish flu, you can call it Chinese virus. Great rip. Everybody has the same rights in this country, not just this segment. Like I said about whatever that stuff is, fine, have at it. I don't know who tried to stop you. It wasn't me. Do I want to know about it? No, I don't. If I want to know about it, I'll find out. I'll give you a call. But no, I don't want to know about it any more than I would be parading around going, I'm this, that, and the other, so you have to bend over and kiss my hiney. No, I don't do that. I don't tell somebody they got to kiss my ring, or they're atheists. Well, what's wrong with atheism? It's a healthy thing if you want to go in and study why you're an atheist and to base a decision on something. But it's not my right nor my business to ask you which way, why, who, what, when, where, why, or how. None of my business. But when you start tearing up my campuses and universities, you have a problem with me. They should have all been mass expelled. Graduation week is here. Who were all those people? Most of them weren't even students there. Mhm. So who the hell were they? Who was funding it? Because the same as Black Lives Matter. I kept saying, look, you can't stand around a freezing city and not be able to get a hotel room or something of this effect. You got to eat and so forth. Where are these people coming from? I worked in D.C. Now, those folks ain't out there. They're not out there. No, they ain't out there. They won't keep that job. So who were those people? Same thing with the universities. I'd like to know who those people were because most of them, like I said, weren't kids. Although there was a lot of faculty being trucked around with handcuffs. Still think that's quite funny. I got a weird sense of humor. Mm. So again, Euphrates is dry or is almost dry. And this is a major source of water to many countries in the Middle East. Um, there were four rivers that were mentioned as where the Garden of Eden was. And of course, this is one of them. And some things I've seen being uncovered included things like steps leading down and so forth. So this was, of course, at one time above the water table. They didn't build it underwater. I don't think they figured out yet who is or who built it or whatever. I don't even think there are really any archaeologists looking. They blew Nineveh to shreds. Their own history, they blew it up. Luckily, most of the stuff that they could get out of there have been gotten out. This is another place with the Nineveh was the home to King Ashurbanipal, who had a library of cuneiform tablets, really small, made with a wedge or cuneiform, hence the name, that gave an expert testimony of the Great Flood, only it wasn't Moses that did it or came through it. It was, what was his name? Yeah, Gilgamesh. Hmm. The strange thing about that story is it predated Moses by a couple thousand years. So you kind of wonder how many floods were there? Just the one. See, I joke around and say, when I do meet him there, I have to have ID. Jesus, I would know on the spot. I don't believe that any supreme being would waste time on the mentality of such as myself, because otherwise I'd be a goddess. Not going to talk to the masses. I might let Jesus do that. That supreme being, he got things to do, or she, which would be really ironic, wouldn't it? Kiss and ring my foot. You know, if a religion can't stand by saying, I'm here to help the homeless, I'm here to help the hungry, I'm here for help you if you need it, then they're not a true church. They're not a true religion. They're just not. If they're not helping the people that need it, I can't see how anyone could be confused as to whether or not this was a religion that one should be in. Now, I have to look back. I haven't yet, but I heard something about Olstein's church being it. I can't call it that. The evangelistic place, the evangelical gathering spot. I'll call it that. It's not a church. See your sin faith. Yeah. You give us $10, you get it back 100-fold. And here's your sin. I got a bridge up back I'm not using, but what the hell? And I will. I bounce through things so fast. This T-shirt is where my grandson graduated Army boot camp, and he tells everyone. And I met his friends since he was in sixth grade. Um, he would tell everybody he was following in his grandma's footsteps or bootsteps, as he liked to say. I'm the only family member that they have, or even in the extended birth family and adopted family. I was the only one who went in the military. So he attributes being in the military to me. Of course, he got out after 3 years. Yeah, I don't blame him. It's like when I said, now you didn't follow me, man. It was peacetime. We were good to go. We had cake parties, which he knew the stories of too. And I still miss the military to this day. I like a regimented thing. I like to know, A is in B, B is in C. I want to know one of those things are. which drives me crazy because my husband is more like the cartoon Charlie Brown with the little guy that had the dust cloud. I can't remember what they called him anyway, Pigpen or something. Everywhere my husband goes, I go behind him because it's like he has a little dirt cloud that goes with him, bless us. And he's always covered with grease to his elbows or something because he helps some man side of the road, or he helps someone, a friend that called or whatever. So yeah, I tease him about that a lot. So that's hence the shirt. And again, I've got a lot of cleaning to do. So regardless, if not, most of my Facebook friends teased me because it didn't matter what I was wearing that day. If I had an appointment that day or whatever and I had a dress on, when I got home or before I left or both, things had to be done. So I used to joke about the same thing, that I looked like Lucille Ball with a vacuum cleaner. But today, as you can see, I didn't go to those extremes. And I wanted to wear earrings that Robert had just bought me, some turquoise and filigree silver. They're really kind of chunky, but I'm getting to like that because I'm chunky too. So I haven't seen anybody in my Q&A. And I had sent out a double dare to anybody who is professing that the Palestinians are being slaughtered and therefore the river to the sea thing. I would love to talk to one of you because I'm absolutely curious how you've convinced yourself that that's okay to commit genocide. That's what you're advocating. And I don't think you seem to understand that global jihad means they'll kill you too. And they will look for you. And they are here. And they've told you they were coming. And they've been hitting Americans. They just took a little break. Y'all don't remember when the Iranians took all the Americans hostage from the embassy. Y'all don't remember those airline jackies that the PLO started. Palestinians. Yeah. You don't remember those Olympic runners being massacred in a locker room. Oh, yeah. PLO again, the Palestinian guys. Yeah. Y'all don't remember that because what? You weren't born. Read a little history. Google's got it. If you didn't learn it in school and you want to go around protesting about that stuff, at least enlighten yourself so you don't like the proverbial idiot to everybody. You look like a proverbial idiot to everybody. And you're supposed to be getting these Ivy League educations. And your teacher's being arrested next to you. So at some point, why don't the parents sue? Get together, get one attorney, and sue all of them. How can you give somebody a diploma from an Ivy League college that doesn't even know enough to pick up and look at both sides? That's not an education. That's an indoctrination. And I'd been hearing that, and I didn't really believe that until I saw what I saw in the past couple of weeks. And I'm so ashamed of America. I'm absolutely ashamed. I was ashamed anyway when they had the guy with the notes on his chest that says, "If you find me, show me the bathroom." I think they call him President Biden, uh, which is why the vice president's giggling all the time. She probably thinks he's about to nut off, and she can step in and be the first woman president. Actually, I would go for that because I would just love again. I would pay good money to see Hillary's face if she was actually made president. That would be so hilarious to me. It just, oh God, if she didn't have an instant stroke, I'd be surprised. Not getting any younger. She did have pretty good plastic surgery and a darn good hairdresser that the. Mm, my coffee's good this morning. Well, we touched on that and the double dare. We've touched on current events and religious events, which are about the same blooming thing, that if you ask me. And I have argued with cardinals and bishops and senators and members of the House. Personally, I think I've argued with about half the planet. If you're going to argue with me, do your studying. Do your study. I don't issue dares. I usually don't issue a double dare ever. And I don't bet unless I know I'm going to win. And I bet you down to a donut, and I don't see him, and I ain't seen him yet, pop over and convince me of their convictions about Palestine. Then I saw this morning that they were, well, actually, I saw it last night, but I was so tired by then, I didn't check into it. They had to enter Rafah. I know they'd made a huge safe area for the 2 million displaced rather, Palestinians. The Israelis didn't displace them, Hamas did. If they weren't using them as a shield, they made sure they stayed there so they could use them as a shield. That's just the way it is. I mean, truth is truth. Y'all got to deal. Now, there at campuses, there's George Washington statue. I can't remember. It's probably UCLA. It might be New York, though, I'm thinking. There were two schools in New York that was doing it, and I don't bother to remember which school did what because I just get so irritated about it. But they defaced the statue. They hung a helmet on it. They, put a skirt on it, I think. But they've defaced the father of their own country. So why are they here? Hands? I got time. Yeah, I don't get it either. Not a bit. Don't get it. Um, Anybody that sees this that wants to talk to me, excuse me, that I don't care who you are. Hell, the president can call me. I don't care. Y'all put your legs on and your pants on one leg at a time, like I do, or maybe legs at a time. Since I started out that way, I only got two. I don't know about the rest of them. So I'm like, what next? We've interfered in all these things, and yet when they went to war, I say they because I didn't agree with that war um, against the last war anyway, with Afghanistan and the second time for poor Iraq, but they did start the first one from what I understand. Don't mess with oil. Don't mess with oil. Everybody come after y'all ass you mess with oil. They done buried so many patents where your car will run out of water that they've got a whole warehouse, probably Area 51, full of this shit. This is how I get distracted. So yeah, if there's something that I said that shook you out, good for me, and good for you for being shook up. So come on up. Let me see you. If you don't want nobody to see what you're saying, put it in the comments later on when it's down. You can always block yourself later. I mean, but I stand by my dare to come on my show, such as it is. Still, we're doing renovations and stuff, so like I can see, like I said, I can see my cleaning rags behind me because I just dumped them there to put the next one in before I went on. And I see I'm going to be running out of time soon. And you're all going, yes, thank God. So imagine you have to sit in a room and watch me for 4 or 5 hours. That would be torture, wouldn't it? You could use that at Guantanamo. I like that. I've had family members say you shouldn't be smoking. I call them cigarillos or shreds, and I like these. My husband allows it. I'm not supposed to smoke, so he's always got me with a vape because I have to have something to shut up. So he finally, and I like these. One of his friends smoked these, and one day I just like, hey, can I buy one of them? I want to try that. They look like the ones I smoked in Europe. And after that, my husband will allow me to have maybe one every couple of days. Sometimes I get, because they go out. So if I'm through with my podcast and it's gone out, I just put it in an airless container for later. And so he's good with that because I don't smoke and smoke. I'm not smoking 3 packs a day like I used to. And I did quit over 4 years ago. So I don't want to pick up cigarettes again. But my little cigarillos is something I enjoy having while I'm up here. It helps me out. So, doesn't help you at all, does it? I'm sorry. So let's see. Yep, we still have. I love the free thing that they've got. Free country. We're a free country. We are free to do exactly what the hell they say and pony up the money. That's what free is. That's how free we are. Uh huh. We're free if we don't have a problem with they go against different laws that they expect us to uphold. I've been watching these other videos. You just can't make this shit up. And I should maybe drop it, but I feel strange doing that. You can see them for yourself without me doing that. If not, say so. I'll drop it or send a string. But these little things I've been seeing, I mean, people are nuts. They're out there driving without a valid ID, without a driver's license, no insurance. And generally, the car is not even registered in their name if the officer knew what their name was. And then you have on the other side the officers who have made some stupid mistake, and 15 of them have been called, and then they get together and forget to turn the body cams, at least the sound on, while they go, well, we have to give them an MOD or something just to CYA. Yeah, so they got to find a charge at least so they can cover their own asses. Militarize them. Militarize the IRS. Now, why do you think they would have to have the revenuers, as they used to say in Beverly Hillbillies? Why did they have to be weaponized, militarized? Hmm. It's a good question. If they said they had to hire something like 88,000 more of them. Well, if you're going to train them to shoot and kill people, you might want to have a good standing army, or, I'm sorry, IRS something. Should I say czar? That I thought was the most weirdest thing. They're what? There's, huh? Yeah, I guess they think that we are SARS. No, 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 that's Russia. So confusing. Let's see. There was some other stuff on there I thought was amazing too that they're still getting away with. Um, they actually quoted this an agency that follows this. People that would actually work for them will jump out of cars and film these because of what the police are doing, kicking people after they're handcuffed, throwing them onto a hot concrete street for nothing. Then they got to get, in the huddle, the football huddle, to say, what the hell do we do now? Because we got to cover our ass. And then the chief and everybody backs them up knowing they was wrong. So, the point I make with this is it's wrong all the way to the top. There is, and I really admire the people who are standing up because their rights from the First to the Sixth Amendments are being shredded as if they never existed. Even though the officers that are dirty, that they know are doing this, they get the huddle together, like, this is how we'll cover our ass. And then, the chiefs are backing them up. Thank God that I saw 4 times where the chiefs were not only yanked out, but they were given sentences. They were charged. I doubt you're going to see that a lot with that thin blue line. I do not want anybody to hurt an officer, and I don't want the officer to think that they're God with a gun because they have a badge. And I see too much of that, as the whole world has. And they were supposed to have changed that now that they had the body cams come out. So I was really flipped out about that. That they even have the body cams and they've learned how to work around that now to still be, as far as I'm concerned, dirty cops. Money always is never given back to someone. These are just some simple traffic stops. The guys, girls, whoever, were doing nothing. But the cop had a problem with their attitude. They didn't get out faster or whatever it was. And they would take all their shit. And especially if there was any money, they wouldn't get it back. One guy they got for 2 grand, one they got for 6. The one they got for 2 grand, they finally sent his wallet back 8 months later. It's just ridiculously, criminally evil suddenly that's starting to permeate everything that was good in the United States of America. Yeah, there was another thing I thought of when the Euphrates thing came up. And I had been studying a bit on the Moses thing since the Gilgamesh thing came out. So this was like 20 years back. And I'm like, wait a minute. They stuck the baby in a reed basket and sent it down the Nile. And a Pharaonic princess found the baby and declared it as hers. Well, they would have put him in the line of the Pharaonic system. I mean, he so and so died. That Pharaoh died. He could have been Pharaoh. How many people think his name was really Moses? Show my hands. Come on. What if his name was Tutmosis? I cracked up when I was like 50 something and I went, that so fits. No, again, why would the Egyptian army chase him? They don't let him go. Well, the problem they had with him, and the reason they enslaved him to begin with, because it was like 10-1. So they thought that's how they could control him. That kind of backfired. Right. And they had the Ark of the Covenant. Whose was that? What was that? We don't know. But when you let a population leave your country that outmans you 10 to 1, do you really think they picked up their baby goat and some clothes and left? Oh no, I don't think so at all. I think they I think they raped Egypt on their way out, and that the Ark of the Covenant was one of the last sources of power the Egyptians had. If you remember, the Egyptians actually even lost their own language in the intervening years of the Bible that brought us to this day. So that language wasn't recovered until the 19th century. And I'm not sure they got that right because I study cuneiform as well. Can't say I can do it, but I study it. So I'm like, is there anybody else out there think that might fit Tutmosis? Could he have been Tutmosis? I'm thinking he could. That's a really popular name in Egypt, Tutmosis, at the time. And for many pharaohs, that they were Tutmos 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. It's a real popular name, especially on the pharaonic line. So I found that interesting. It popped in my mind when I was watching the Euphrates drying up. Just wondered if anybody had anything to throw back on that. I'm just throwing stuff. I gotta go soon, which means I gotta work. Damn. So, still at the bar. I am still waiting for somebody to come up here and talk to me about why my beliefs should be changed. I'm old. I need those. That's apple. Oh, it's good. Mm. It goes great with my Irish coffee. And I might be drinking too much Irish coffee. So I threw a bunch of stuff at you today just to see if anything would stick. The Tutmosis thing, I would love to hear somebody talk to me about that one. Because I remember when it popped into my head, and it was like, oh, damn, that makes sense. That so makes sense. And then, I believe they pillaged it. I used the word rape because it used to be called raped and pillaged. But no, they didn't leave a stone unturned. They probably didn't leave a golden necklace behind. They didn't own them, but when they left, there had to be a reason for it. Besides, according to the story, he had already lost his firstborn and let him go. Wasn't trying to bother him. Then suddenly he's on their ass. In chariots are moving. These poor guys are just walking. And that's the story. Part the Red Sea. Well, they figured out it might not have been on the Red Sea, so they're not sure where that went. Which again, I found funny. Can't find the cornerstone to the White House. Again, I found that funny. So I've thrown history in, I've thrown current events in. I should probably talk about something of the paranormal since I have 10 minutes. I have to see if any of that stuck to the wall. If there's anybody out there who believes in the paranormal, hit me. Tell me where you're from. Put a ghost sign on there. I don't know. Talk to me. Again, I want social Woodstock back because if we don't use our voices now, we won't be able to. There's something wrong, there's something evil that's invaded the planet. It's not one country, it's not one city, it's the planet. The evil flourishes when good stands by and does nothing. Now, supposedly, yes, we wanted to give 50, 60 billion over and over to the Ukrainians, and I feel for them. I really do, but I do not understand why I have homeless veterans while we're sending and buying bombs to the Ukraine for like what 4 or 5 years now. Then they said they were ending up with aid packages to Israel. I agreed with those. I would have actually voted to agree with those. I wouldn't have sent that amount of money, but ammunitions I agree with. Yes. But again, this isn't supposed to be what the United States should be doing or America. I prefer America. Don't they have something called like what was that? Oh yeah, the United Nations, the UN. Yeah. How about NATO? Anybody? Yeah. They have one job. They got one freaking job. The entire world pays these organizations every year. They got one freaking job. What are they doing? I think somebody said they might be down there now with Apex. I mean, that's what they were created for. That's what they're paid for every year. And yet the United States goes, oh no, we're only 33 trillion in debt. How much money do you want? Let me get that checkbook. I got a problem with that. And it's one thing to say, okay, the Electoral College votes in the president. But it's another thing to say they are listening to the people. That's a great big whopper of a lie. Nose out the window. Way big lie. You are absolutely free to do what any cop tells you to do what any government decides that they want you to do. Like give them 3/4 of your check and have them text you as if you got that 3/4 of a check for tax time. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, that's legal. Why? Like I said, they go out. There's just a lot of evil. I'd like to be able to think that while we have a chance, most of the hippies are baby boomers, and they prefer that title for us, which is understandable with the big thing they made about marijuana. And then, of course, California leading on going, well, we made a lot of money the other way and put them in jail. But if we actually grow and sell it and tax it, holy Hannah, can we make some money? So that became legal. Unfortunately, and I predicted it at the time, well, one that would make you driving impaired, driving under influence, whatever way they want to phrase it. So they treat you just like a drunk. I smell marijuana in your car. The car's closed, locked up. You're on a trail with a dog. You come up. This guy has gone through your truck and everything else. Illegal search and seizure. And this kind of thing going on. Taken to jail. Every right broken that they have. Um, I said, don't, if you're in a state that has legalized cannabis or marijuana or CBD, whatever the hell you want to call it, don't leave the borders. And if you go anywhere, never ever put it in your car, because even in California, they're going to stop you for driving impaired and it's going to cost you a bunch and you're going to lose your license. So it's not legal. And of course, like I said, to any neighboring state, if you were to go from that state to another state where it's not legal, then of course they'll pull you. Of course they're going to charge you. They're going to get some of that money too. People have asked me the same question I might put out here. How did a senator making $176,000 per annum per year, they served 8 years, and there was how many million? How is that? I'm not good at math. Let me try the calculator. Yeah, anybody got an answer to that? I'm not good with the calculator. It's a math thing. Yeah. Traitors. The traitors. It's treason. But they got a guy up here who was a former president. They can make him through anything they can make up and have and are. Um, where's the justice, folks? Where's the freedom? Doesn't anybody want to speak about this but me? And I have seen these videos, and I'm going to try to start interacting with them if I have time. Again, I didn't think that this would be so time consuming. And I'm still learning things about live streaming. So you have to forgive me. And again, I have to find a production manager about every day. That's why it's a mess out here. I have to wear too many hats. So I have to go, okay, you're fine. Take that hat off. And wardrobe, come here, you're fine. Take that hat. And my sinuses are killing me this morning. Um, and I see my time's about up. I don't know why I'm going so much. I hate hearing that. I'm trying to do it again. I am still at the bar. I am still waiting on anybody. If there's anybody that believes in what they're actually tearing up campuses about, double dare you guys to get up here. Really love to hear from a parent. We paid how much money to get him at graduation day? Oh, even my kids are going, oh, mom. Yeah, they could have been 5 states away. I'd have ran all the way there just to kick the, yeah. Wouldn't have dared. Even at 45, not only would they would not dare, but they know it's wrong. They know right from wrong. I did my job as a parent. They were ready for the world, and they have conquered that world. But that world is getting smaller by the day, and those checks are getting smaller by the day. Luckily, they're making it. They're good kids. They got good educations. They did the best they could with what you could call an education in the South, and went on to pay for their own college and universities educations. And so I'm very proud of them. I'm proud of all of them. But none of them got a free ride. I didn't get a free ride. No, the government did stop up and go, let me pay your college tuitions. Don't worry about those this year. Yeah, I'd have been through, I'd have been enrolling for next year. No, they did not do that for us. It's rather funny for me to think about. But again, I got it. I got it dashed. See, my time is just about over. I'm going to go over today. So get back to me. Do you feel like I do? Do you wonder why Ivy League schools are tearing them down on graduation week? Do you wonder where the parents are on graduation week? I do. I want to know why I'm labeled a racist, no matter who you're talking to. You're a racist because you don't agree with what they're saying. You've got to be a racist. It's time for this shit to stop. Let's keep the social Woodstock going. It might be informative if some of them actually stop and look at it, but I can see my eye is going to kill me here. Only one side this morning. I love Georgia. I really, I can't tell. Oh my God. I ended up with 5 new taxes and 12 new allergies when I moved here. It's like the tax on food. There's no tax on food, and there's no tax on gas. There's no state tax in Texas. And just to reel off a few. So when I first got down here, I was like, "Well, I still owe my money, and why is there 2 taxes on food? It's not enough for the city to get a bite of what you're spending for your food. County has to have some too, so tax 1 and 2 on the food, guys. That's just on the food, and yet, oh, this is going to fix roads. This is going to fix, better school systems. What the hell are they going to do? I've been seeing this for 35 years. It's still the same. Brand new highways they put in Augusta 3, maybe 4 years ago. Now, when I only take 2 hours, 2 miles to go to my little tiny grocery store, Walmart, as far as I'm about to go, and I'm out there like Mario Andretti on the on the Nintendo game, or well, Mario anyway, and there's potholes everywhere, so you're no, no, no. I'm thinking, oh God, don't lose control near the bridge. But they're getting that money saying, fix that some bitch. They just say when. They lie. They said they're going to fix it. They didn't say it was going to be 2042, but you got to laugh or you cry. So I'm going to get off of here, guys. Make it a good one. Come see me at the bar. Like, share, talk about it. Let's find a good reason to laugh, and let's find a reason to stand up and say, I don't like this shit and I'm not doing it no more. Without you guys, I could not do this channel. Love all of you. I will try today to get back to you. I can't promise that today, maybe tomorrow. So I'm going to get out of here, guys. Toodles.